Chapter 8. The Château d'If. The commissary of police, as he traversed the antechamber, made a sign to the two gendarmes, who placed themselves one on Dante's right and the other on his left. A door that communicated with the Palais de Justice was open, and they went through a long range of gloomy corridors, whose appearance might have made even the boldest shudder. The Palais de Justice communicated with the prison, a somber edifice, and that from its grated windows looks on the clock tower of the Coul. After numberless windings, Dante saw a door with an iron wicket. The commissary took an iron mallet and knocked thrice, every blow seeming to Dante as if it was struck on his heart. The door opened, and the two gendarmes gently pushed him forward, and the door closed with a loud sound behind him. The air he inhaled was no longer pure, but thick and mephitic. He was in prison. He was conducted to a tolerably neat chamber, but grated and barred, and its appearance, therefore, did not greatly alarm him. Besides, the words of Villefort, who seemed to interest himself so much, resounded still in his ears like a promise of freedom. It was 4 o'clock when Dante was placed in this chamber. It was, as we have said, the 1st of March, and the prisoner was soon buried in darkness. The obscurity augmented the acuteness of his hearing. At the slightest sound he rose and hastened to the door, convinced that they were about to liberate him, but the sound died away, and Dante sank again into his seat. At last, about 10 o'clock, and just as Dante began to despair, steps were heard in the corridor, a key turned in the lock, and the bolts creaked, the massy oaken doors flew open, and a flood of light from 2 torches pervaded the apartment. By the torchlight, Dante saw the glittering sabers of the carbines of 4 gendarmes. He had advanced at first, but stopped at the sight of this display of force. "Are you come to fetch me?" asked he. "Yes," replied a gendarme. "By the orders of the deputy procureur?" "I believe so." The conviction that they came from Monsieur de Villefort relieved all Dante's apprehensions. He advanced calmly and placed himself in the center of the escort. A carriage waited at the door, the coachman was on the box, and a police officer sat beside him. Let's just take a second to celebrate, everyone. This is episode 100. We've done 100 episodes so far. Congratulations. Pew, 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 pew. Maybe a celebration isn't in store for what's happening to Dante here. In the last chapter, Villefort said, "Let me just hold on to you for a bit and take care of all this stuff." So, Dante, this is to be expected. He's being held until later that evening in order to presumably be released, as he's saying. The conviction that they came from Monsieur de Villefort relieved all Dante's apprehensions. Like, knowing that all these jailers are coming to him on the orders of Villefort is like, oh yeah, this is all part of what he told me. But the circumstances, the setting in which he's surrounded, that's pretty intense, isn't it? Like, it's not the Bastille, which I believe had fallen long before this, but it's, just a dank, dark place that you're being held in. Like, this is, I guess, the county jail before the prison, right? Because the chapter of this title is the Château d'If, and as we kind of know, the Château d'If, we talked about this very briefly, was a island. It was a fortress on an island, and it housed like political criminals. Should we call them criminals? I don't know. People accused of political crimes. It's where the monarchy held them. So while I guess, if you're just taking the text of what happens here for what it is, like, yeah, he's being taken to a dark, dank, county jail. But then, being released, presumably at the word of Villefort. But the chapter title is The Château d'If, which is foreboding, to say the least. Okay, welcome to Chapter 8 is the way I decided to phrase that. Let's keep going. This is not as long as the last couple chapters we've covered, but I have a sense it's not going to be any less harrowing. Shall we continue forward? Okay. See you tomorrow. Goodbye. The Countdown of Monte Cristo is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. This show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. Theme song by Magic Solo. If you want to support the show and others like it, visit patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.